Razaban here for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm delighted to have with me today the knowledge of Spence FEARON. How are we doing, Spence?
I'm good, brother. How you doing? How you
Oh,
keeping?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Thank God, I'm good. Spence, firstly, how's isolation keeping you?
You know what? Um, it's a bit different, but you know, it's when the security guards in there realize who you are and they find out who you are, they make things a little bit easier. They got their way to help you. So yeah, I mean, so where I'm staying right now, it's cool. Um, it's a lot of time away from the family and that, which is crazy and that. Uh, but at the same time, it is what it is, and yeah, I mean, we just keep on moving forward, bro.
How are you keeping yourself occupied? Obviously, there's only so much talking you can do on the phone, so much watching you can do. So how's
No. It's like any other day. I'm working. I'm working on the foundation stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm grateful for the stuff that I'm doing with MTK Global Foundation, and you know what I mean, the corporate social responsibility that is going on inside the company. So I'm grateful for that. I got an award from the E-Space Group while I was in Dubai as well. So yeah, I mean, it's in my suitcase. But yeah, I mean, I'm good. I'm good.
that's good.
Even better for speaking to you, bro.
Appreciate that. Are you going outside, taking your, is it 2 30-minute breaks you can have outside?
Bro, I could go anytime I want to go. So you know what I mean, but it's cold outside. So what am I going outside for? You know what I mean, staying here and got lots of projects that we're working on right now, and so there's a lot of study time and stuff. So it's cool, man. It's not bad. What I would feel sorry for if I was like an older person, especially like with the technology, like you got to take. They're very strict on it, and we got to be thankful to the government for being so strict. It's like where I'm staying right now in the hotel here, which is just off the M4. There's 600 people in here. There's 150 cases of COVID, and I was speaking to one of the paramedics here. About 80% of them um, they were they were showing like non symptoms, but they got COVID. So I mean, I count my blessings. So far, I've had in a couple of days' time, I have my fourth COVID test. I'm being COVID free on every single one of them, but it's strict. It was mad. I flew into Turkey from Dubai because there's no straight flights, and it was yeah. Me and Dave Diamante flew over together, and it was properly strict. As you step off the plane, they're waiting for you to check all your details and stuff like that. Now, as much as you can think, oh, that's really bad, but then you got to take it on what it is. It's actually a really good thing because we're being protective of not anybody getting COVID, and you've had it, and it's not a joke. It's serious. I've got really fit, able friends who have had COVID, and they said like someone was standing on their chest. It was bad. So I'm grateful because you know what? I got to go to Dubai to work on Jamel here in Carl Frampton, which was a historic fight within itself. I got to see Keyshawn Davis fight. You know what I mean? And it also went on ESPN Plus, which was sent out to America and was flying back to Timothy Bradley and Andre Ward. So if you're saying, all right, you're gonna do all of that, you've done all of that, and you got paid, and now you've got to come back and do 10 days in isolation, it's nothing, brother. Alhamdulillah.
Spence, it's Friday. It's we're towards the end of fight week. Conor Benn is back out tomorrow night against Samuel Vargas. Is this the toughest fight for Conor to date?
Yeah, of course it's. Vargas has been with better opposition, right? Even though he's lost to the better opposition, but he's been in there. He's like, he's a sneaky, crafty professional fighter as well. He's originally he's from Bogota, Colombia. If you know anything about that, you know, that's where the proper Yale comes from. But like, but you watch Narco, right? So he's a good fighter, very good fighter, very strong fighter. I know Alex Demagani, the lightweight, spent a lot of time working with him. Alex is actually tipping Vargas to win this fight. You know what I mean? Vargas boxed very well a few years back against AMIR Khan, flooring Khan. So Conor's got to look out for that right hand that he throws, and he's a tough guy. But what I like with Conor Benn of recent, he's so improved. He is so improved. He thinks more. He's not trying to fight with his heart on his sleeve anymore. He's thinking. He gauges range very well. I like how he pops, how he throws jabs to the pit of your stomach, waiting for your hands to lower. Then he throws his right hand left hook. Watch, he did that a lot in the Formella fight. Was it Formella, the guy? His last fight. Yeah, Formella, in the Formella fight. He impressed me greatly in that. Vargas, this is very, very good matchmaking by Matchroom. Simply because Vargas is a very, very strong man. We saw in the Virgil Ortiz fight how even when he was on the ropes and Virgil Ortiz can punch, he was just wailing away at him. And like he was kind of shouldering and like it was kind of doing old man skills and that, even though he got stopped, but he's a good fighter. We got to give him his credit as a good fighter. But I've just been really impressed with Conor. But this is not an easy fight because this could potentially be a banana skin, right? Potentially. But potentiality doesn't have to become actuality. You know what I mean? And on this case here, I'm saying like I still want Conor winning. And I think he's going to be kind of similar. He's going to box kind of very, very similar to how he boxed in the Formella fight. And fingers crossed he comes out victorious.
Spence, is it important? You've talked about how Conor's improved as a fighter. He's 17 fights in. Is it important as fighters to take your time, learn the craft? You're not going to go in there in 5-6 fights and blow fighters out all the time. It's better to take your time because success will eventually come. Those big fights, those big paydays will eventually come down the line.
Most definitely. If you just because somebody else knocks out somebody and you fight that person and you don't knock him out, doesn't mean that the person that knocked him out is better than you. Right? You know what I'm trying to say? There's a guy called Marcus Geraldo. He boxed both Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard, right? And none of those guys could stop him. And Tommy the Hitman Hearns knocks him out clean, viciously. But Tommy the Hitman Hearns gets stopped by Ray Leonard in, what was that, September 81, and he gets stopped by Marvin Hagler in April of 85. So do you get what I'm trying to say? We shouldn't gauge things by that. Oh, because this guy beat the, there's, you know what I mean? There's different makeups that provide to make boxing. So we can't just look because this guy beat this guy. And I think Conor Benn's actually finding himself now. Before he was, I'm the son of the legend and like the weight on my shoulders and all the rest of it. And I got big shoes to fill. I remember when he came into my friend Ben Dowie had a Nigel Benn dinner and Conor was there. And this is years, we're talking about 5 years ago now. And Conor was there and Conor said, yeah, I got big shoes to fill. I said, you ain't got no shoes to fill by your own. And he said, like, and I've always liked Conor. I find him a very affable young man. And I think they've taken the right steps for him. He's had the right fights at the right time. I mean, it was a Pinata fight where he got knocked down in and came back in a rematch and boxed really well. So I think before he thought it was all, guns blazing and let's go do this. And now I think he's gained ring generalship. And we're seeing him express that time and time again. In the Formella fight, he really did express ring generalship, which is needed. So I think he's going to express that again tomorrow night. You know what I mean? And not fight being emotionally drawn in, but fight with skill and an educated performance. And I can see Conor Benn winning on points.
You mentioned there about Conor saying he's got big shoes to fill. Obviously, his father Nigel, who's a legend. We've got Chris Eubank Jr., who's trying to fill obviously his father's shoes. We've got Campbell Hatton now trying to fill his father's shoes, and Ricky Hatton. We're hearing Nassim Hamid's sons are going to become professional as well. So we've got 4 great fighters of the past 30 odd years. Their sons are going to be in the sport. Should they try to attempt to create their own legacies and not look back at yes, their fathers were great, but create their own legacies, create their own name, etc.?
Attention, may I say this? What was it? Campbell Hatton boxed recently, and I saw, because like I did an interview with Pep Talk, and there were certain people that were criticizing the kid. And I'm telling you, all these people have never done nothing in their life, right? What gives them the right to be critical in the way that they're being critical? You can say we don't think he's good or whatever. Not. Yeah, I get that, right? But we're living in a very, very spiteful, envious, putrid world, right? Here is a young man that said, right, I want to box, right? Knowing who my dad is, who is a British boxing iconic legend. We should be supporting this young man and not being envious, because one thing we have to know is this: Ricky Hatton gave British boxing some fantastic nights. So therefore, I believe like we should be supporting his son just off of the back of that, just for the remix of that, right? And not be envious over it, because you have to think of it. A father's job is to provide for his children. That's a father's job. He who provides for his children. Now, obviously, he's provided well enough for his son. His son don't need to box, but his son wants to box. I think the young man should be commended. And all these little bitches who are trying to fight him down, look into your own life and see what legacies you're creating for your children.
So we saw Conor calling out Amir Khan and Kell Brook and saying, listen, I want those fights. I'm ready for this fight. Is Conor in his right as the up-and-coming welterweight in this country to say, I want to fight those fighters, those senior fighters, those fighters that have been world champions before? We know those fights probably won't take place because there's nothing appetizing for both Brook or Khan, but is he in his right to call them out?
Of course he is. It's like, in life, Les Brown says, it's not that people aim too high and miss, is that they aim too low and hit. So of course, you got to set out for your goals and aspirations. There's a man going after his goals and aspirations. Obviously, who are the big guys in the division now? Well, Josh Kelly just got beat. So in the UK, what could sell? It would definitely sell a Kell Brook fight. Him and Kell Brook definitely sell. Him and Amir Khan definitely sell. So he's got to think, well, I want to be in with these guys. And plus, also, these guys are at the tail end of their career. So if you don't set goals, right? If you don't set goals, you might as well just dig a hole right now and go lay down in it. So set your goals. And he's going, and I rate the young man for setting goals and having aspirations. And he's not being cocky about anything either. It's not like he's being smug about it. He's saying like, yeah, that's what you're meant to do. You're meant to set goals and set challenges to yourself, but be realistic with those as well. And that is a realistic challenge and a goal that the young man set for himself. So get behind CONOR BENN.
Spence, you did an interview on Sky Sports Toe to Toe a few years ago with Amir Khan, and you said, and I remember, the British fans will never forgive you if you don't take the Kell Brook fight. He's come out openly now and said, I want the fight, let's make it happen. He spoke to Eddie Hearn. Is it, I know people will probably buy it, but is it, and I don't mean to be rude in the way I ask, but is it almost a cash out fight? Is it almost, let's just make the fight, make as much money and leave?
You know what professional boxing is called? What's another word for professional boxing?
Prize fighters.
Thank you very much. What's the prize? Is not the prize financial rewards, right? And then we sit down and we have to look at the eubonics of the wording, right? Of the purse. What is a purse? We associate purses with females, right? That's what right. Not saying because we're living in a world now that you can rock with a purse if you want, but I'm saying we generally associate a purse with a female. Now, the female's holding the purse. In war, in the time of war, you know what booty was? Booty is not a big bottom, Booty is actually the spoils of war, was when somebody was to invade your country or your land, they would take your female, right? So as they take your, so the purse, there we go, got something coming through my phone, right? The purse is the prize. So you are fighting for financial gain and reward. You are. But then certain times it's a past financial gain and reward. It's about pride. Kell Brook and Amir Khan, if they're to fight each other now, it's not about pride. But I would still like to see that fight. And the only reason why I'd like to see that fight is because sometimes two old JD men make for a good fight. And I think this would be a good fight because it would still evoke some emotion and passion with the British fight scene. And we say, especially now that Amir Khan's got his TV show now, I think, yeah, if they could make that fight, make it. But I would rather see Conor Benn in with either one of those two. And I'd rather see Conor Benn in with Amir Khan more than KHAN-BROOK.
Interesting. Well, we'll see what happens. Spence, a number of weeks ago, it was set out to the public. Fury, AJ signed. A few bits and bobs to deal with, site fees, location, dates, etc. And there were people being skeptical then, saying, well, we're not sure what exactly has been signed. Yes, they've signed to agree to fight. We knew that. We knew that early, very early this year. But now the rumors are that it looks like the fight might not happen. Eddie's done a couple of interviews this week where he's turned around and said both camps will be presented with offers this weekend. And then it's time to decide what you want to do. You either take one of the offers or you decide you're not going to fight. But what are your thoughts and what are you hearing?
I have no thoughts. I haven't really been concentrating on it, to tell you the honest truth, because it becomes exacerbating and it draws too much energy out of me, to tell you the honest truth. So I've just got a message on my phone that just came up on my phone, like one of my aunts in Jamaica just passed away.
Oh.
Just come on my phone.
Okay.
Oh, mate, you know what? Like to continue this right now, but you know, you can still put this out as well. And well, everyone who tuned into IFL, love boxing, love people, and the thing about it is, this is like, you never know when you're gonna lose someone. I'm saying it's live to this. It's like when you wake up in the morning, if you've got the morning that you've woken up to, it's a blessing. It's an incredible blessing. And one of the most underrated blessings that we have is waking up in the morning and that we get 24 hours. And if you get the 24 hours, then it's peace and love. All right. I'm gonna bounce right now. I've got to go ring my mum. And the bullshit thing is, like, I'm actually on lockdown right now. So I've got to tell my mum down the phone I can't even go and see her. So, all right, Raz, love you.
I'm really sorry to hear that, brother.
No problem, bro.
I'll speak to you soon. Spence FEARON, IFL TV. Thank you very much.